This is the end of the One Knife Challenge for September. So we've just got to the end of September and this is the knife I've carried for the whole month. So what have I learned during this month? Well, I'll go through that. I'll also go through what I missed and what my next challenge will be. Just before we start that, just to recap. So the idea was to pick one knife for the whole of September and to only carry one knife. I went through quite a few and I ended up with this, which is the Farmer X Alox. So why did I do this challenge? Well, sometimes I feel guilty because I've got a few knives in my collection now and I can't carry them all. And I was thinking back to my grandfather who only ever carried one knife. And a lot of people, older generations or people before us, or many people now, only have one knife and they make it do everything. And that may last them most of their adult life. So I thought just a reminder that we can manage with one knife, and I picked this one. So what tools does a Farmer X have? Well, it has the usual opening layer with the cap lifter and pry bar, which also acts as a flathead screwdriver, and it has the can opener with the small flathead at the top, and that can also act as a 2D Phillips. So those are the first tools. The next tool, which is one of the reasons why I like the Farmer X, is this excellent saw. And yeah, I think you can see I've used it. Cracking saw, double rows of teeth, and it works on the pull and the push. So it's amazing. So for this saw, which measures about 7 centimeters, so about 2.5 inches, give or take, it can cut through a branch up to about 1.5 to 2 inches. Works really well, and you get a clean cut too. So that's the saw. Next you have the scissors, and on these the nail nick is on the other side. Let's just turn this over, and super sharp. I really do like the scissors on this. And then there's the main blade. Really nice size blade. A little bit thicker than the standard Victorinox. And last of all, we have the awl. I really like the inline awl. It can be used for opening packages. It's got a sharp edge along here which really bites in if you're making a hole in wood or leather, and quite a sharp end as well. So that's the Farmer X. I've taken off the keyring, and I refuse to call that a tool, but it's a little bit of a hot spot. But apart from that, I found it really useful, and I've carried it in this slip from Dio Drio for most of the time. In this as well, I have a flashlight. So this is the i3T EOS, which is a great push button flashlight. And then as well, I have the O-Pen Olight Mini. So that's been a great combination in my pocket. I don't always use slips, but I found this really useful, and particularly having those three items together. So that's been my carry. So what's worked well? Well, of course, the awl. So the awl has been brilliant. I've used that a lot. Almost every day, not quite. The scissors, I've used the scissors most days. Let me just grab those. Yeah, so I've used these scissors most days. The main knife has been excellent, whether it's cutting fruit or cutting through a little bit of wood. I've even used it on some brambles as well. So that's great. It's kept its edge pretty well. I've just touched it up a couple of times by stropping it and tried to keep it clean, but that's been great. And you can slice through an apple, just cut straight through. It's a decent size to get through it. And the saw, Yeah, I've used the saw a few times actually. I've been looking for fat wood when I've been out at weekends, and I haven't found any, but I've cut through a lot of small branches on pine trees looking for it. So that's worked really well. The flathead, I've used it a couple of times for some prying, and I even used the can opener actually just yesterday to open a tin of potatoes. Our can opener was in the dishwasher, so I just got this straight out. It got through the can, opened it really quickly. So I think as a single tool, this has been brilliant, and I'm glad I picked a Swiss Army knife. But what have I missed? Well, the main thing that I've missed has been this, which is the Midnight Manager. And it's called the Midnight Manager because it has a flashlight on it. It also has a pen, it has the combi tool, as well as scissors, small blade, and a file. So excellent all round 58mm Swiss Army knife. So I did miss this. And I think the two things that I missed most were the flashlight, which I tend to use around my house at night to save putting lights on and waking people up. This is easy just to use that. And the great thing is, because it's a push button, and as soon as you take your thumb off, it goes off. The small button battery in here, it lasts for ages. So I did miss this, and especially the nail file. So it's got me thinking about my next carry. The other knife that I missed was my UK PK, and this is a fairly recent purchase, but I absolutely love it. It fits in the hand well, it opens nicely, it's super sharp, and it's not too threatening either. So one of the things, I'm not sure in other countries, but here in the UK, people aren't that keen on knives, and especially in offices. But I've got this out to cut through fruit, and it's hardly raised an eyebrow at all. And of course it has the clip on here. The clip's quite strong. I don't tend to use the clip quite so much. I have thought about taking it off actually, which I might do. So those have been the two main things that I've missed, but otherwise I think it's been a real success. I just wanted to say as well, a big thank you to people who took part as well. I know that my good friends Sean and Randy have had a go. They're real knife guys, so I think they snuck in a couple of other knives as well. But JO Ventures has been doing this as well as a few other people. So a big thank you. And also a thank you for the shout outs I've had from Hunting for Hookers. Now, he had a go at working out what his one knife would be, and he couldn't pick one, which is fine. You know, I think this has been one of the things that separated out the EDC guys from the knife guys. And I think many of the knife guys have called me crazy for just having one knife for a month, and some of them have just either found it hard or sort of not wanting to do it. But Hunting for Hookers, so he had a go, and he's given me a few shout outs, which is always good. He's just done a recent video, which I'll put a link in the description down below, so please check that out. And he's got 5 things to carry. So I'm thinking about what my 5 things to carry for October would be. So this has done its turn, and as much as I love it, I think it's time to try something a little bit different. So what I've decided to carry for October, and this was a little bit of a promise to Randy that he thought I cheated a bit by having a Swiss Army knife. So I've got this Taylor's Eyewitness sheep's foot. So a single blade. It's a really nice wooden handle. I've put some teak oil on there just to bring out the colour a bit. And let me see if I can get... The stamp isn't great on this. You can maybe just about see it there. So I got this from the UK Sharp Show last year from Rob Cutting's stall. And yeah, unfortunately he's not still with us, but he had some fantastic knives on his stall. And this was a real bargain. So this cost me £10. And it just needed a little bit of shining, a bit of oil on the handle. It was a bit dry. But otherwise, I think it's a really nice knife. A little bit of gapping maybe, but it's got a decent lock up. And not too difficult to open as well. So this is what I'm going to carry. I've decided to keep my slip, my pocket pouch here. So those are going to be my first three things. So I've got the i3T EOS, the Olight, I've got the O Pen as well. And then I was thinking about the other two things to have. So I've decided, and I'll do a separate video on this, I've decided to have a small Swiss Army knife on my keychain. And this is the classic SD. Let me just get it off here. So this was a recent purchase, and it's got a nice small blade. And the benefit of this is I pretty much always have my keys with me, so that's perfect. And then on the other side, we have the nail file with the small flathead screwdriver. So I think that's going to be useful. And then the scissors as well. So it's my way of keeping scissors on me at all times. And the fantastic thing about these Victorinox scissors are, if you're cutting things like paper, you can just slightly close them and just push them through paper, especially wrapping paper. They work brilliantly. So I've decided to add this to my keychain, and I'll do a separate video about that. So those are my 4 things I'm going to carry. So my 5th thing will be this, the Victorinox Swiss Card Nail Care. So the benefit of this is it has some larger scissors in and a magnifying glass. It has a small multi screwdriver, which is really useful. It has the usual tweezers and the pen and the pen and a toothpick and a nail file as well. And somewhere hidden away there's a pin. So I think this has got most of the things that I need. This won't be on my person, this will be in my work bag, and then I'll try and get rid of some of the other toolkits and things that I have. See how I manage with this for a month. So over at Hunting for Hookers, I hope this will meet your challenge. I'll see you at the end of the month. I might do some updates as I go through. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful. Hope you like the challenge. Please go and check out Hunting for Hookers channel if you don't know it already, and check out the video. As I said, the link will be below. I hope you liked this. Why not check out this video or this playlist just over here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.